Well, this is Gary Johnson then ahead of Swindon away on Saturday. Gary, another game against a team in the top 10, but on paper do they get a little bit easier from Luton to Notts County to Swindon?
No, it'd be a little bit disrespectful, wouldn't it, to Notts County and Swindon. You know, we think they're at the top there because they're very good teams, and you know, we don't really know quite what we're going to come up against at Swindon because Taylor's taken over, and we have to wait and see what sort of shape he wants and what sort of team he wants to select. So it's a little bit of a mystery to us, and we'll have to work on a few things, but they're still a good side, and obviously they want to try and keep themselves in the playoff situation.
They're one of the few West Country teams you haven't managed. What's your record been like against them down the years?
Give it time, mate. Got plenty of time. Yeah, over the years they've had some big name managers, haven't they? Ozzy Ardealers and Tim Sherwood, etc., etc. And it's it's a club people respect, I think. Lee Powell's gone in there as a chairman, and they got relegated, and he's promised to bring them straight back up, and I think he's done a good job trying to. They've got a very good team they've put together, and good contacts they've got. They get Tottenham players, don't they, etc. And so I think it's always a team that's always looking to do something. You know, supporters were a bit disappointed. I think it was last year, right? It was last year. And Chairman Lee has told him that he'll put it right, and he's nearly done that at the moment. You know, they are there or thereabouts.
I think they're generally better away than at home, aren't they? Is that something you can look to exploit?
Well, yeah. You never know. They haven't lost all their home games. What we've got to exploit is our bit of form that we've run into, which I'm really pleased with. I thought we played really, really well at Luton. Could have won that. Obviously, Luton's quality came back at us for a little period and got their draw. And then I thought our stats show us that we played really, really well against Notts County. Should have definitely won the game with the opportunities we had, with the passing accuracy that we had was the best we've had all season, and our chances as well. I know we didn't create too many in the first half, although there was a couple, but we certainly created enough to win the game in the second half. So I'm concentrating on our form really, and at this moment in time, the last couple of games I've been pleased with our performances.
Apart from putting the ball in the back of the net and taking those chances, what is it you've got to do? But what is it you've got to do to convert good performances into wins?
Well, you've got to have players that convert the chances that you create. The chances, that's why you call them chances. And towards the end there, I think Brian came on and had a couple of very good chances. He had a good header. He got one-on-one with the goalkeeper. We had quite a few chances as well. I think the stats was around about 10, 12 good chances, 7 on target, that sort of stuff. And really, you should be getting a couple of goals. It's that second goal that's sometimes elusive to us at home, where we go one behind and then the opposition start taking their time over things quite early, and then we have to chase the game for a little while. But it's if we can get that at home, the second goal, then things sort of change, because to be fair, we haven't looked all over the place as far as teams scoring lots of goals against us.
Harry Powell got one more game left of his suspension. How big is the temptation to more or less stick with what you've got if everyone's available?
Well, I mean, I'll take, as selection goes, you sort of take each game at a time. It's always good to have more people available for selection. It gives you a bigger headache, of course. But everybody knows here if the team's going well, then sometimes you struggle to get back in. Pelles will know that, and he's been training hard, so he knows that if he does get that opportunity to come back in, he's ready.
What's the carrot you're sort of dangling in front of the boys to sort of motivate them at the moment? Is it just the next game? Is it get yourselves mathematically safe? Is it earn contracts for next year?
Just earn a living, don't nick a living. Make sure you're out there, you're getting paid to be a professional footballer. Put in the effort, show us what you got. Can you affect the game? And it's really the footballer in them that has got to come out. That's what we're asking for. We've got to help some because they're young and new to this standard and this league. We've got to improve some of their fitness, some of the fitness ones where they haven't played much or they've been injured. So we're doing stuff all the time to help improve the whole group as a whole and move it on. And if we get beat this week, people will say we've gone backwards, but it's a process where we're trying to play our football. We're trying to get individuals creating or giving their best game, and if you get that, we are not far away when everybody's giving their best game, and we stop the mistakes at one end and get goals at the other end. So easy game, isn't it?
Apparently so, yes. How are Nigel Attengarner and Carl Winchester?
Yeah, all right, thanks. Because they both got they both had cramp. Funny enough, and it's once you get that shows the work rate that was there, and obviously they're still fit because they didn't have to come off, but they certainly got a little bit of cramp there, and I thought they both played very, very well, and I was pleased that they lasted in the game, and I'm sure they'll be available for the weekend.
Everyone else okay?
Gav came in to see me today and said that he at this moment in time has got a clean bill of health, so that's very good.
Marvellous. Thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
Gary, what have you made of all the managerial changes that have happened recently? Because Steve Evans went to Peterborough, and then Flitcroft obviously went to Mansfield, which is, Swindon look like they seem to have missed out, don't they? Because that's rocked them a little bit, losing their manager when they're in the promotion.
Yeah, they'll be again the hierarchy at Swindon will be disappointed with that. But from what I read, obviously the contract said that if there was a particular offer, then they would have to let their manager go. Normally, you wouldn't let a manager go that was doing quite well if you could help it. But there's anything surprise you in football at the moment, and it's a little bit of a merry-go-round, of course, sometimes. But as you say, Swindon are the ones that. But then, who knows? They may pick up a manager that they're even more pleased with. So it's getting that recruitment right, because obviously that's the most important role with the chairman of at a football club.
Yeah, when you beat them 2-1 at home, I think it was 94th minute, Danny Wright goal after he missed a penalty. That felt like a high point in the season because you got a few new players in, been on a bit of a run. Did you come away from that game thinking we can have a real go this season?
Yeah, because they were going very well at the time, and they looked a very good football team, and their way of playing suited their players, and they were getting results, and we had to put in a big effort that day, and we did, and deservedly come away winners. It was a little bit of a change, if you like, a game changer, because our thoughts suddenly turned to, we can compete with these, types of teams.
Kyle Noyle is there, who I think you had a look at in pre-season, didn't you? Ex-West Ham right back. Was he close to signing for Cheltenham, or did you just give him a bit of a trial to have a look at him? We during that time we was giving quite a lot of people opportunities to trial with us, and sometimes you just feel that you've already got someone in mind, or and it's just the circumstances. At the end of the day, he's a good player, and he was somebody we was looking at, but he found his niche, if you like, at Swindon, and he's getting games. So he's, as long as these lads go somewhere where they get games, then they've given themselves a good result. Yeah, the 4-5-1 worked really well at Luton, and obviously you kept the ball well in the first half on Tuesday night, but the 3-5-2 obviously looked good in terms of creating a few more chances. Are you actually quite pleased to have potentially 2 systems that suit the players you've got?
Well, we got 4-4-2 and all if you want it. And sometimes it's good to be a little bit adaptable. You have to be adaptable when you're coming up against the top teams. But also you have to be adaptable because you're always looking to start with your best 11 at any one time. And sometimes that suits a 4-5-1, sometimes it suits a 5-4-1, and sometimes it's 3-5-2 or 4-4-2. So, I've got all them figures right down. There's 11 men. Probably that's where I'm going wrong. Not playing enough men. But so we just, we put a shape really when we look at the opposition, but also we look at the team. That's the confidence of individuals and the way of individuals are playing, and that's how we do it.
Yeah, you'd have been to Swindon a lot in the past. Does anything stand out for you in previous games?
That roundabout just before you get to the stadium is a nightmare. I spent a week there once, and it is a nightmare. And also, tell supporters that look at it, shut their eyes and just go for it. But listen, you can catch Swindon on a good day. You can catch Swindon on a bad day. We just hope that we on this occasion. We catch him on a bad day.
Yep. Cheers,
guys. With the conclusion of this season looking increasingly likely, at what point do your thoughts and attention turn to next season?
January, really, last January. So, you build up, you look at what you got. You've got to get to a stage where you start thinking, do we, if a player comes up, is he going to get us promoted? You can't always do that. Sometimes you're still building, if you like. But I think we've built a group that we've got a good core, and now we just need maybe 3 or 4 players where you can say yes, they can win us the league, or they can get us further up that league competing. I honestly believe we wouldn't have been far away this year if we'd have got the little bit of luck that we needed at times. We got a little bit of bad luck at times. There's a lot in that. Don't feel sorry for me because that's football. But it just means you keep building, and that's what we've got to keep doing. But I'm pleased we've found our form in the last few weeks, and we need to keep that going to entice players to come and join us, and because players go to places where they think they're going to improve themselves, both as a footballer and probably financially.
Yeah, we mentioned it earlier, but is it ever challenging to keep players motivated and keep that momentum going towards the end of the season, where it might look like a mid-table finish is likely?
Well, that's why you've got to pick players that are self-motivated anyway. When we were kids playing over the park, nobody was watching, they were just your mates, and you always got them real enthusiastic ones that would run all day and want a feeling like they're playing at Wembley every week, you know what I mean? So, and I always tell the lads that every game they play in is an opportunity for them. They want to spend the rest of their lives in the second division. There's opportunities out there, and I've been a manager a long time now with a few clubs, and there's a lot of players made a very, very good living from starting off with humble beginnings.
And then lastly, Cheltenham Festival next week. Will you be going to any of the races?
No, I don't like turning up and a couple of the jockeys being taller than me. So
keep a low profile.
Yeah, keep a low profile. Wear my high heels. I'd like to, if I find a bit of time, or I get a good invite to one of the hospitality tents or something, then I would. My wife mentioned it yesterday. Don't you know anybody So we'll have to wait and see whether. Yeah. Thanks for the question. Yeah. It might help me get an invite.
Putting it out there.
Yeah. All right. Cheers. Well done.
Cheers, Gary. Thank you.
Cheers, Gary. Good luck.
Cheers.